Mycelium leather, the sustainable alternative to animal hides. What if I told you the next luxury handbag, the next designer shoe, or even the seat of your car might not be made of leather, but of fungus? Yes, you heard that right. The future of fashion, automotive, and high-end design is being shaped by something most people scrape off tree trunks or ignore on forest hikes. Mycelium, the root structure of mushrooms, is now being transformed into a soft, durable, and completely biodegradable material that looks, feels, and even smells like leather. Except it comes with none of the cruelty, pollution, or waste. This is not science fiction. This is a rapidly evolving industry backed by some of the biggest names in tech and fashion. And it is reshaping what we wear, how we live, and how we define luxury. Traditional leather production is one of the most environmentally damaging processes in the textile world. From deforestation for cattle grazing to toxic chemical tanning that pollutes water systems, animal leather has a cost far beyond its price tag. But here's where mycelium leather flips the script. It grows in controlled environments, requires no animals, and can be harvested in just a few weeks. The process uses agricultural waste as a growing medium and emits a fraction of the carbon footprint compared to traditional leather. In a world increasingly shaped by climate change, this shift is not just trendy, it is essential. And the crazy part? Consumers cannot tell the difference. The texture, flexibility, and strength of mycelium leather are so convincing that some companies are already replacing animal hides in their luxury product lines without even announcing the switch. Major players are already investing millions into this space. Think about this. Brands like Stella McCartney, Adidas, and even Hermes are working directly with mycelium leather startups to design next-gen fashion collections. Adidas, for instance, created a version of their classic Stan Smith sneaker using mycelium leather. Hermes reimagined its iconic Victoria bag using the same material, blending centuries-old craftsmanship with cutting-edge biology. The message is clear. This is not a niche eco-product. This is luxury-level, fashion-forward innovation. And unlike synthetic leather, which is usually made from petroleum-based plastics, mycelium leather is fully biodegradable. It breaks down naturally without releasing microplastics or chemical toxins into the environment. This is sustainability without sacrifice. One of the biggest innovations behind this movement is the precision with which mycelium can be grown. Scientists can literally program the shape, thickness, and texture by adjusting light, humidity, and nutrients during the growth phase. Want a pebbled grain like calfskin? You can grow that. Prefer something smoother, like suede? Just tweak the growing environment. The material can be grown in sheets that are perfectly tailored to the product's size, meaning there is almost zero waste in manufacturing. Traditional leather production wastes nearly 1/3 of the hide due to imperfections and irregular shapes. Mycelium leather, on the other hand, is custom-grown and nearly flawless, by design. This level of control makes it more scalable and sustainable than anything we have ever seen in textiles before. Of course, there are still challenges. One of the biggest hurdles is durability. Mycelium leather is strong, but not yet as long-lasting as thick animal hides used in heavy-duty products like saddles or boots. However, companies are innovating fast, blending natural binders and experimenting with cross-linking processes to make mycelium as tough as cowhide. And let's be honest, most consumer leather products do not need to last a decade under extreme use. For fashion, interiors, and accessories, mycelium already meets or exceeds performance expectations. The difference is, it does so with less environmental damage, less water usage, and without relying on industrial animal agriculture. It is a classic case of the future arriving faster than expected. There is also a cultural shift happening around what we consider luxury. For centuries, luxury was about rarity, exclusivity, and often animal origin. But in today's world, luxury is being redefined. It is now about innovation, ethics, and sustainability. Owning a bag made from living, breathing fungal networks grown in a lab may once have sounded strange. Now, it sounds like the ultimate conversation piece. High-tech meets high fashion. People want products with stories behind them, and nothing tells a better story than turning fungi into fashion. It speaks to the larger movement of conscious consumerism, where every purchase is a vote for the kind of world we want to live in. With mycelium leather, that world is looking a lot more beautiful and a lot more responsible. And it is not just fashion. The automotive industry is eyeing mycelium leather for car interiors, steering wheels, and dashboards. Furniture designers are using it for upholstery, wall coverings, and even architectural elements. Because it is naturally flame-retardant, breathable, and hypoallergenic, mycelium leather is finding its way into applications far beyond clothing. Imagine walking into a home where the couch, the wall panels, and even the lampshades are all made from fungus, but you would never know. It looks modern, feels luxurious, and leaves almost no environmental footprint behind. We are watching a material go from experimental to essential, right before our eyes. What makes mycelium leather even more remarkable is its compatibility with circular economy principles. Unlike traditional leather, which is often tanned with chromium and treated with toxic chemicals that make it impossible to recycle, mycelium leather can be composted at the end of its life. This means that after years of use, a jacket or handbag made from mycelium can literally return to the earth, leaving no trace behind. Imagine a material that doesn't just avoid waste but becomes nourishment for the soil when it is no longer needed. This is sustainability at a systems level, designing products that fit into nature's cycle, not outside it. It's not just eco-friendly, it's regenerative by nature. Even more intriguing is the potential for custom biodesign in mycelium leather. Scientists are experimenting with embedding pigments, scents, and even antibacterial properties directly into the mycelium as it grows, eliminating the need for synthetic dyes, coatings, or chemical treatments. That means color, texture, and functionality can be built into the material from the cellular level. Want a deep crimson bag that resists water and smells like cedar wood? It can be programmed in. This kind of design freedom is unheard of in traditional materials and opens up a whole new creative frontier for designers and engineers alike. We're not just replacing leather, we're redefining what materials can do. Even the way mycelium is produced holds promise for a new kind of manufacturing model. It can be grown locally, in vertical farms, with minimal land, energy, or water. That means instead of outsourcing production to distant countries, designers and companies can produce materials in their own cities, on demand, and with far less transportation cost or carbon footprint. This decentralizes the supply chain and brings textile production back into local communities. Imagine a world where your leather jacket is not just sustainable, but grown in a lab a few miles from your home. This could change global manufacturing forever, making it cleaner, smarter, and more human-centered. If this video sparked your curiosity, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who still thinks luxury has to come at the planet's expense. Because in the age of mycelium, sustainability is no longer a compromise, it is a style statement.